One of the greatest features of the Total War campaigns is the ability to experience the crucial moments of history of your faction. You can see the fates of civilizations and entire continents decided by one cavalry charge, one duel, or one spell. Tens of hours of gameplay can be completely determined by one mouse click. This is a story for today. These events happened during my legendary campaign as Sayl the Faithless.
I was a mighty shaman sorcerer of chaos, hated and feared by my own people. I sought to carve my own path in chaos. I wanted powers of chaos without devoting myself to chaos deities.
The greater my goodwill, the greater the pain I hold in store.
I managed to unify my starting province in one turn. I can make a guide on how to do this if you need one. And almost immediately, Sayl launched an all-out attack on his neighbors.
I crushed the warriors of chaos of the Kazakh tribe. And then I completely obliterated the Chaos Dwarf war host led by Zhatan the Black. These first turns were the time of many victories. It seemed that I am able to win any battle. I felt unstoppable. But then one turn changed everything. While I was removing the puny remnants of Zhatan's war host from their pitiful existence, I got surprise attacked by Village the Curseling, the champion of Tzeentch, and his allies, the Usak tribe. They were attacking from the south, while my entire fighting force was still on the western border. Since Village had an allied tribe, the enemy heavily outnumbered me.
When I saw the sheer numbers of enemies crossing Sayl's borders, the situation looked dire indeed. But then, a small, shining ray of hope emerged from the darkness. It was clear that Sayl is going to lose many settlements, so he started to fortify the capital. As a result, Village's second fighting force was not strong enough to capture the capital and was completely destroyed. Despite this small success, the situation was still very, very dire. There was only one, and I mean one, hope for victory here. You see, Village was not directly commanding the forces of their Usak vassals. The vassal armies were still acting independently, so Sayl's only hope for victory was intercepting the armies of Village's vassals without fighting Village himself. Sayl started setting ambushes for the Usak tribe. In the meantime, Sayl's capital started to field first squads of powerful female warriors. Sayl's likely future opponents, such as the Grand Cathay, the Dark Elves, or the Skaven, all have a very hard time countering the Femir. So, if Sayl somehow survived this war with Village, the fate of this entire campaign would be decided. Sayl's total victory would eventually be inevitable. After several turns of highly cautious maneuvers, the Usaki forces were finally separated from Village, and Sayl managed to engage them in the Dragon's Crossroad region. This was the chance, the breaking point of this entire campaign. Sayl needed to win this battle, and not just win it, but to win it overwhelmingly, without heavy casualties. Sayl needed his forces to preserve combat readiness, to engage Village himself next. Even alone, the Usak tribe still heavily outnumbered Sayl's forces. This is how large it was. It was actually quite terrifying. Sayl's plan was to position most of his forces in a small passage, and then to use cavalry to lure the enemy into attacking this passage. Sayl wanted the narrow passage to neutralize the enemy's superiority in numbers, and to force the enemy to attack in a tight formation.
Then I hoped to crush this formation with my magics.
The battle began with a series of cavalry skirmishes. Sayl had no numerical or quality advantage in skirmish cavalry, but Sayl used all of his riders together, while the Yusaki horsemen were equally distributed across their formation and could not be used effectively. Both sides took casualties in this skirmish, but its main goal was achieved. Most of the enemy forces were headed towards the passage.
We need slaves!
This was it. This was the moment that will determine the fate of the entire world. The enemy attacked. Lightning, now!
Cowards! Come and... Is that all you got?
The first spell did not do a lot of damage, but the next one. This was the mouse click that completely decided the fate of the world.
This damage. They falter. Attack!
On the other flank, there was fighting too. The Yusak tribe sent some infantry in there. But here, the cavalry completely decided the battle. It was a total victory.
My losses were very low, and completely acceptable to fight village. The enemy lost their entire army. Now, the Yusak tribe had no army. Village himself, without a massive allied support, was not hard to beat. With support of my new, monstrous infantry, I captured Village's castle.
Destruction. I shall not give up my service.
Then I broke through the Great Wall of Cathay.
None compare to me.
I cut through its cities like a knife through the butter. I captured, I plundered, and I enslaved this great empire. I have become unstoppable and beaten everyone, from the weakling dark elves who dare call themselves raiders. I have whipped the dumb ogres and puny Skaven. I crushed everyone. I have deceived the Chaos Gods themselves and achieved my grand ambition to free myself from the Chaos Gods, and I became an embodiment of an independent wizard overlord who rules over millions of slaves through arcane and strategy alone. Subscribe to the Videological Dungeon, for only in its bowels you shall find the real knowledge of chaos.